Night descends as the sun's light ends, and black comes back to blend again. And with the death of the sun, night and blackness become one. Blackness being you, peeping through the red, the white, and the blue, dreaming of boss black civilizations that once flourished and grew. Hey, wake up, niggas, are y'all through? Drowning in a puddle of the white man's spit as you pause for some draws in the midst of shit and ain't got nothing to save your funky ass with. You cool fool, sipping on a menthol cigarette round midnight, rapping about how the Big Apple is out of sight. You ain't never had a bite. Who are you fooling? Me? You? Wake up, niggas, and you're all through. In uptown, two roaches are drowning in each other's piss. And downtown, interracial lovers secretly kiss, while junkies are dreaming of total bliss somewhere in the atmosphere, far away from here, beyond realms of white dimensions, guided by suppressed intentions, as their cries go unrecognized, except by their keeper, the Grim Reaper. Save me a Carnegie shout as the lights go out, cause you ain't paid the electric bill, and the rats and the roaches move on in for the kill, as your lips struggle to drain that last drop from the wine bottle, and you roll snake eyes, never realizing that you blew. Wake up, niggas, or you're all through, sitting in the corner with your mind tied to your behind. Bonafide members of Niggas Anonymous, never knowing which way you're going, pimping off life, turning tricks to slick dicks with candy asses. All masters will be held tomorrow morning for the late great black man. You niggas understand? Up against the wall, black Malin farmers. I'll blow you away, and you'll never live to see the light of day. And the nightstick, it glides gracefully upside your head. That's right, brothers and sisters, you the living dead. The cock crows, and the night goes, and it saves your ass in the nick of time. As you wake up and start to find yourself laying up in bed, scratching your ass and head, trying to remember from where you recall it's a mere nightmare that always leaves you feeling blue, but you still can't place the man's face as hard as you try to. Hey, wake up, niggas, or we all through.
Peace. My yacht hotel. To the brothers and sisters out there. This is the third installment of mental illness in the black community. Brothers and sisters, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I can hear Marcus Garvey right now saying, I gave my life up for you, worthless Negroes. It's fucked up. Malcolm saying the same thing. Martin, all of them are flipping in the spirit realm. Anyway, I feel very proud to bring the third installment of mental illness in the black community. The illusion of perception. I think Bobby had another title. You think another title for this, man? I thought illusion of perception because people are caught up in the matrix. They just don't understand that everything that's being presented to them is artificially inseminated. It's artificially created. And they live in an artificial paradigm.
Right.
Like the election, for example. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I have the opportunity to bring the master teacher and friend, Bobby Hemmitt, to go through a series of questions and answers concerning the problem that plagued the once great people of the universe. And we talk about the melanated people of the universe. We had a very successful and awesome lecture down in Woodbridge, Virginia last night, in which Bobby electrified a whole new crew of people, ranging from the adept to the inept. He dropped the science. And again, once again, people have been illuminated. So I sit here, honor and privilege to bring the third installment of this series with the hopes that somebody can get some help. Somebody can identify with the trauma and the buffoonery and the ignorance that plague our people. Before I bring Bobby to enlighten you with this awesome information, I want to send a shout out around the country. I want to send a shout out to out in the production of the brother Shabazz, my brother from another mother. I send you peace. Send him some peace, Bobby.
You know it, Shabazz, Anubaresh.
Anubaresh. To the other brothers, man, that with him, Brother Chris, Black Dot, Hotel. Want to give a shout out to Brother Panic. Some of the other brothers, Cypher, and the rest of the brothers, I don't remember all the brothers' names, but when I was up there at the Melanin Conference, it was good to be in the energy, in that energy of being around these powerful brothers and these new up-and-coming scholars. So I want to give a shout out to you brothers and say, hey, you got a brother down here in the belly of the beast, holding the fort down. I'm going to give a shout out to some of the other brothers around town. Brother Rudra up in St. Louis, my dark brother, Darth Vader. Drop the dark magic on his brother. Drop the magic. Some other brothers around the country, I don't know everybody's name, but wherever you're at, and you see this tape, I want to send a shout out to you. I can't forget about the other older masters that's been around, Phil Valentine and C. Freeman L., and it goes on and on. But anyway, I'm going to bring the master Bobby Hemmitt to drop this science, because now this is some of the greatest time in America, and it's the worst. The question is, are you going to take the blue pill or are you going to take the red pill? Well, anyway, Bobby going to come and drop the big pill, so you can put whatever color you want on it. And while he's coming, think about this. Have you ever thought about, why is it that the Republican and Democratic Party is red and blue, but so is the Crips and the Bloods? Huh? You smoke on that one for a while and think about what I just asked that question. What is it about the color red and blue? Why red and blue? When it comes to duality, when it comes to opposite forces, the Crips and the Bloods, Democrat and Republican. Anyway, Bobby, the next face you see be Bobby Hemmitt, up here from the ATL, in the belly of the beast, come to drop the science on you, dealing with the sickness and the psychosis and the pathology of black people. Peace. Hotel. Fade the black bottle.
That's the button.
Brothers and sisters, the master teacher, Bobby Hemmitt. Bobby, what's up, baby?
What's up?
What's up?
Let's just jump right into it, get it started.
Hey, man, look, we'll be back again, man, to talk about mental illness in the black community. This is the third installment. Bobby, from your opinion, man, what the hell's going on with our people, man? I mean, you know, what's happening, man?
Well, we'll attempt to give the problem, the critical problem, and the problem that turns into a solution. By it being such a bad problem, it's got to be something that is a solution. The problem might just as well be the key. We'll get into some of that, too. I know that sounds awful philosophical, but then again, on the other hand, it is. We can start off by saying that a people just straight up gives up. I believe, like my mother said, you know, I'm going to pour libation. I remember this because it was something like the mid-'80s. And the generation before me, my parents' generation, who were the actual people who actually did the sit-ins, you know, about her being in college in the 50s, young adult in the 60s, you see, and went through the whole civil rights struggle. Then seeing this illusion of freedom that was given to us in the 70s. We had a real good time in the 70s.
That's right.
Just seeing that illusion of freedom. And hoping and thinking that maybe this is it, maybe this is the time for, you know, something better to happen. and basically lulled to sleep thinking that it was better than it was before. And then in the mid-80s, start seeing glimpses of the old Jim Crow state that is done up in a clever way when we started seeing the reemergence of overt warfare in the aspect of crack cocaine, you know, and gang warfare. You know, people started, youngsters started killing each other. And she said, you know, this is disenfranchising to think that, you know, we made certain strides, and now I see that we right back in this again, and basically nothing has really happened. And no matter, and I'm quite sure she was looking at it at the point to say that no matter how much money we have this particular time, it's really not going to make a difference. Now, two things are going to have to happen with that. Either we will realize that our so-called upward mobility with education is going to need a new overhauling, like they said, and give in to the fact that, yes, Carter G. Wilson was right when he said the miseducation of the Negro. You know, or also take what money we have and seek deeper into the illusion that we are equal in America, free, and have made it, and turn the blind eye to the poverty, the mayhem, and because you can do that by moving out of a community, but you have to still turn the blind eye to the mentality or the mental illness that plagues you. Although you got $100,000 house or $500,000 home, and still see the pathology, and it seems to follow us. Like ABC News did a report last summer on Mike Tyson, and they did a report on the amount of money that he spent in the course of 15 years to declare bankruptcy, and with the money he made, they say he would almost have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every day. You know, and in so many words they were saying that this needs to be in the Guinness Book of World Records on how much a person can go broke just off of consumerism. It's not as if that he sank his money in a $1 billion industry or $1 million company and the company went bust.
Like stocks and bonds.
Stocks and bonds. No, this cat here literally spent
foolish
$100 million. You know what I'm saying? Consuming. You know, or the MC Hammers. You know, broke.
Master P.
Master P.
Newest one.
Broke.
Newest brother.
Master P made more money than most small countries in 1996, 1997, and 1998 to declare bankruptcy. So it goes to show you that you cannot escape the pathology. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You can't run from it. But meanwhile, we slip deeper and deeper and deeper into a mental illness. So now what it is, you have people that basically go into a zombie-like state.
Automaton. Brain dead.
Brain dead. Atrophied mind. Atrophied brain.
Eyes wide shut.
Eyes
Yeah.
wide shut. encapsulates it all. The illusion of perception.
Of perception.
You know? And to help foster that insanity, slip deeper and deeper into irrational concepts of religion.
Whew, my God. You say it again, brother.
The religion is the glue. It is what fortifies the mentality or what fortifies the insanity.
Mm-hmm.
You got an insane doctrine over here to tell you not to think.
At all.
As a result, that solidifies your function of everyday thinking, which means
Common sense don't work.
right. A complete
Absence of mind thought. Individual mind thought.
a complete war against intellectual and analytical ability. A complete war. A week or a month time delay between thinking. That means you didn't think at all. You know what I'm saying?
Primitive.
No, primitive is the greater state.
Okay. We talking about subhuman
We're
now,
talking
right?
about subhuman
Okay.
or subspecies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Almost like an inanimate object, because most animals function on a higher level based on instinct.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is about like a balled up piece of paper being tossed in the wind.
Going to and fro.
Right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey. Every day.
Every day. You know. Meanwhile, the white man, especially the Jews,
Especially.
because they're the ones that run the media, the grandees, the elders of Zion.
Right.
Everybody should go back and read the protocols of Zion.
Sure, that's right.
And don't let, you can get that in Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse. If you don't, because they're making it so now that it's hard to get it in print a lot of times. But you go right in Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse. And don't want to hear nothing about these specials they got on saying that this is a forgery. The Jews are now saying that it was some type of anti-Semites that wrote this
Right.
story of this particular protocols of Zion.
But you know something funny, Bobby? It's funny how these so-called Jews call people that speak against them anti-Semite when they Ashkenazi. Now, how can somebody be anti-Semite
Right.
and you're not a Sephardic or Semite Jew?
Right.
Because people are so ignorant
Right.
on who they are,
Exactly.
much less who they are.
Exactly.
These small but powerful group can say things and hold you liable and charge you for them.
That's right.
Especially the ADL.
That's right. That's a good way to start off. Let's start with the corporate of a lot of things, because we got to unveil that tonight.
Right.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna spit libations. We're gonna spit libations. To get some energy up in here and all. So we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna go into this particular conspiracy and see where it has left us brain dead. You see what I'm saying? And why there's a conspiracy to keep us brain dead by making sure that we still have more and more platforms of ignorance. You see, to keep the motor running.
Using people of color to perpetuate it.
To perpetuate it through the media, through music, and through
Buck Tom
religion.
and Buck Tom, Uncle Tom,
Uncle Tom,
and
and
Thomasina.
all of that. Thomasina. We can get into all that. All right. Lorabanda.
Jay.
Washington Agra.
Jay.
De La Luna.
Jay.
Mama Shola.
Ashay.
Yeminya.
Ashay.
Olokun.
Ashay.
Martin de Agra.
Ashay.
Santissima Muerte.
Ashay.
Santissima Pedra
Ashay.
Eman. San
Ashay.
Simon. El Cristo Negro.
Ashay.
El Cristo Rey.
Ashay.
Las Spiritual Extreme Pillars.
Ashay.
Francisco Ciez Reyes.
Ashay.
O teacher.
Ashay.
Chiachi, Sheola, Shumala, Omugumu, Alcala, Locato, Tacumbo, Labado, Lakshmi, Sri Lakshmi, Babylonia, Pazuzu, Atlantis, Casimbo, Alfino Lucay, Urzuli, Isabat Isala, Anubaresh, Arseti, Sarnubas, Aset, Osa, Peru, After, Masefi, Baz, Ves, Kayamat, Kengu, Mamu, Labu, Lahu, Iska, Mona, Noku, Mana, Kriti, Jova, Inmatu, Baz, Vesh, Awas, Lana, Maliktas, Kali, Durga, Terra, Servari, Shiva, Rudra, Prometheus, Dionysus, Bacchus, Phanes, Pravati, Sati, Durga, Indra, Sophia, Gaia, Satis, Anarchus, Heru, Venus, Aphrodite, Brigitte, Baron Samadi, Papagate, Wade, Simbi, Damalawedo, Edoedo, Hercules, Diana, Artemis, Athena, Neith, Nekobet, Sekmet, Maya, Uajet, Sashet, Serpent, Bass, Butches, Dadoon, Mim, Minovis, Ventu, Apit, Tired, Sutan, Sutnesi, Slipnubit, Septesh, Nuke, Hadit, Rahar Cubit, Hamaku, Hamakis, Herubahu, After, Sutan, Shaitan, Saptit, Lucifer, Lalet, Anu, Baz, Betri, Dadoon, Kim, Kimothless, Sebek, Sobek, Sabdu, Tim, Hemmitt Spirits, Amit, Apep, Four Sons of Harvest, Heru, Kim Heru, Pan, Ganesh, Alejandra, Admi, Sanama, Shri, Ash, Baal, Ani, Anru, Malektas, Melchizedek, Metatron, Metronet, Lilith, Layla, Lilithu, Lalet, Mahabadivas, Asuras, Letters, Bilu, Azazel, Samaza, Goetia, Nipath, Bim, Sim, Kim, Tim, Anru, Leviathan, Latiathan, Sutan, Sudheru, Zetesh, Sel, Bel, Baal, Gela, Newt, Tefnus, Shu, Nakumpa, Umbelinga, Kulakulu, Umbaba, Uwawa, Pazuzu, Simbi, Thunderdog, Sunbear, Panchidi, Geronimo, Sinbull, Crazy Horse, White Buffalo, Gopi Girls, Krishna, Radha, Balarama, Buddha, Lamayin, Lamat. We will give a great shout out to Layla, Alat, Ashe, to all gods known and unknown. The Hemmitt family, the Davis family, the Shaw family, all my family members, Ashe.
TJ family, Mother Sybil T, Grandmama, Alberta Z, ain't Frenchy.
Ashe.
All those have gone before me, making a way. Ashe.
Ashe. Special shout out to my significant other, or my queen, or my goddess in this particular case, Linda Linda Babylonia, her family, and special shout out to her to bring the energy. Ashe.
Ashe. And a special shout out to the queen of my life. Ashe.
Ashe. Kunsu and two. All right. So
Now we was talking about the corporate level and the Jews. But let me say before we go to the Jews, you know, rap music, most people see your P. Diddy's and your Russell Simmons and your Dr. Dre, which is the #1 sellout nigga. But behind the scenes are the Israeli Jews.
That's
now I'm going to give you a couple of players for those who don't know. You got Lyle Cohen. Lyle Cohen is the president of Interscope. That's Russell Simmons' boss. Okay? Then you got Hillary Rosen. Okay? She runs the whole executive for distribution for all them labels. You got Sid Rosenberg and you got some other players, but the bottom line is Jews run the rap business.
Always have.
Always have, which are poisoning the minds of the young people. Not only that, but the use of subliminal and extremely low frequencies are being used in this music. And Bobby, you can expand on the corporate level, how these Jews have cornered damn near the globe.
Yeah.
As far as control.
Exactly. And you know, it started even with Rick Rubin. He was one way back in the day with Def Jam and all of that. There's a guy named Panic who used to write songs for Public Enemy. He wrote Can't Trust It.
Okay.
Anyway, has an 8-hour tape on the whiteness and how the whole structure was always white. Right. Always Jews.
Always.
Behind the whole rap industry. Behind the whole rap industry. And it's interesting how, get that movie, Welcome to Death Row. Did you ever see that?
No, never saw it.
Welcome to Death Row, I'll send you a copy.
Okay.
And in there they show how, in the end, your boy went to jail. Suge Knight was in jail.
Right.
Tupac was dead.
Biggie.
Biggie was dead. Tupac was dead. And a whole lot of mayhem happened. And the company, Death Row Records, later on sold to Interscope or whatever for so many millions of dollars. And in the end, when you see that movie, in the end of that movie, you see at the end that the Jew boy won. He won the whole thing. And what happened? As usual, black people broke, black people dead. You see, and black people incarcerated.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's interesting how you never see them on TV as anything negative.
Ever.
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 Only victims.
Always victims.
Of the Holocaust or some quote-unquote anti-Semitic hatred which doesn't exist.
Don't
because
exist.
These are white folks and you can't tell them apart. Come on.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Explain it to the people out there in TV land. Jews are not a race, it's a religion. So can you explain that? Because people think that Jews are some race, man. And let's dispel that.
And most white rabbis tell you it's not a race.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But the key here is it's a people that is usurping or masquerading as an ancient set of people, which origins happen to be a spin-off branch of people that was ultimately ancient Egyptians.
Exactly.
Now, that particular that particular Jew and the ancient Hebrew have nothing to do with each other, no connection whatsoever. You know, no connection whatsoever. And we can even go in the aspect of, we talk about a spin-off group of Akhenaten's crew coming up out of Egypt and going on up into some form of Canaan or Mesopotamia, and basically reworking their brand of Egyptian mythology into the language of that land.
Speaking of Mesopotamia, what do they call Mesopotamia now?
Part of Iraq. Iraq and Iran and all of that.
That's right.
Right. You know, which was named Iraq in the 1930s after it was being Persia.
Right, in Persia.
You know, and all, and before that it was Babylon.
Babylon.
Babylonia.
Right.
Babylon.
Right.
Which is interesting here because we must understand that the modern masquerade of what we call Judaism, or the Jews, which is this secret society, get their start in Spain. Get Arthur Cox's 13th tribe, taken from Moorish manuscripts. And in so many words, we said this story thousands of times before, that there was groups of people that was in Spain at the time when the Moors ruled Spain for 700 years. They had to choose between being Christians at that time, which was predominant which was dominant in the European world, or Muslim.
Right.
And there was a group of people who decided they didn't want to do either, and ended up doing the Hebrew thing, who was converted into Hebrewism by the Moors of Spain. And they took that title and took that image and ran with it, and been trying to build an ancient link, or this legitimate link, as these chosen people ever since. There's a whole book called The Convention of Ancient Israel, which goes into that same problem. These people carefully and painstakingly have centered their whole existence around some ancient mythology that don't belong to them. But it's a close-knit secret society. Because if you see, you get them by the balls, because if they will argue the fact that they're Hebrews and somehow try to link this thing and go and try to use the ancient book of Exodus, or try to use the book of Exodus, or the 5 books of Moses, to somehow legitimize their claim, then they would have to say that they were ancient Egyptians and Moses was in the Egyptian house. And then they got another problem, because they're going to have to find out, they're going to have to explain how you turn from being black people in Kemet. Because remember now, Moses supposedly, if you go by the mythology,
Right, milk. Right.
that Moses was supposed to grow up in the house of the Pharaohs, and they couldn't tell him from being an Egyptian. Now, according to the story,
Right.
that they couldn't tell him from being Egyptian. He was born in Goshen, which is a place in Kemet, which is black folks there now. But in so many words, according to the story, they couldn't tell him until he had to tell the Pharaoh that he was Egyptian, because he was passed off, was Hebrew, because he was passed off as an Egyptian in the Pharaoh's house. So if you try to take sublime mythology, which it means something else in principles, and try to make a historical case about that, then the white Jews have to answer this: well, how did you get from being an Egyptian, or a group of Hebrews that looked like Egyptians, because Moses was passed off as a Canaanite or an Egyptian? How did you get from being black to looking white? You see what I'm saying? And how did you end up in Europe?
Right.
And how is it that most of your history as this white group of people, we got mostly in Europe?
Right.
Until you entered into Jerusalem, or quote-unquote Palestine,
Right.
or Israel in 1948.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's the first time you had claim to a land, because we can go right back there now, and BET got in trouble for this, because remember, Bev Smith went to Israel and found an ancient group of Hebrews, not the Ben Armin group of African Americans that traveled over.
Ben Yahweh and all that.
Yeah, and not that group, but an ancient group of Hebrews that say they have always lived in that land, and they were blue-black people.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make here is we're still talking about it. Is it really a falsification of being these so-called holy divine people who are the heirs to the kingdom of God, but yet tend to build their kingdom on this earth as the richest and most controlling people on the planet? You understand what I'm saying? That they ain't really interested in going to the other realm or going to the other level, because the simple fact is they got to control everything down here. You see? Now this might sound a bit anti-Semitic
Wait, hey, come on,
in this particular aspect.
Sound it off.
If you are trained and programmed into thinking or what the Jews want you to think, that anybody who break their conspiracy, you see what I'm saying, is being intolerant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No, we're talking about history here. These people was are Europeans.
Straight up.
And they have no, just like any place else, they really have no claim on the planet Earth, but the damn sure don't have no claim to any ancient area, you see what I'm saying, or Northeast Africa, or what you call the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
And what you call the Middle East, you see, because these people were completely European.
That's right.
You see, and now what they have become, from the inception of when they decided they were going to conquer the world and go after the purse strings of the world, was a close-knit secret society, but more a secret society of organized crime,
Mm-hmm.
including today that the mafia, which was destroyed in the 90s, the so-called Italian mafia. The great mystery here is that the Italian mafia, although they had their families and their traditions, never were the purse strings and the clerks and the money changers of that system.
Right.
It was the Jews that ran the purse string of the money of the mafia the whole time.
That's right.
So we're talking about the Italians were nothing but flunkies.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And their family structure of what you call all steeped in Italian Italian garb, Italian culture, really was a front
For the Jew.
for the Jews behind the scenes
Mm-hmm.
who ran the money. The most successful mafia, because there's only one major one that was one of the ones that was out front, along with Lucky Luciano and Bugsy, and that was your boy Gambino. No, not that. A boy, the one from Israel. Can't think of his name right now. Myelinsky.
Yeah.
Who was the Jew that never, isn't it ironic that all of them got deported, got killed, but he died at an old age.
Mm-hmm.
They never fucked with him.
Never.
You see what I'm saying? That's because he was a representative of the people behind the scene who ran the shit all the time, the whole time.
Right.
Now we say that because this is a great conspiracy here, because if they are fake, if they know that their origins are bogus and conspiratorial in a fraudulistic way, fraudulent, I don't want to make up no words, but in a fraudulent way, then they know that in actuality they have to be impersonating a group of people that is the real McCoy.
That's right.
Even the word real McCoy comes from Amos McCoy, a black inventor.
Mm-hmm.
But has to be the real deal.
Real deal Jimmy.
The real deal Jimmy.
That's right.
In this particular case, it has to be us that fulfill those prophecies that was put down by an ancient sect of black people. You see what I'm saying? The book of Daniel, the book of Solomon, where they talk about prophecy of a people coming out of pain and suffering. But it said, even in the New Testament, which is Egyptian biology because it's Gnostic, that these people that came out of this suffering, they would come out of this suffering only in the last days. Now, clearly, the Jews can't fit that description. Not being the richest people on the earth.
No, sir.
They are the money changers.
Yep.
They say these are people that came out of a great suffering. Now, although the Jews have been trying to, I say European Jews,
Right.
Ashkenazis, have been trying to corner the market on suffering only through illusion. and perception, clearly, the people that they're talking about that are the suffering, are the people that's actually suffering at the hands of the Jews, especially when it comes to image-wise. That's what we get into.
Which is the black man and woman in
the black man and woman in America.
In America.
And around the world.
And around the world.
But, clearly, the people of Israel, of the modern state of Israel, which is a state of the 51st state of America.
That's right. Stepchild.
Stepchild. And clearly, the people that we grow up to in my life, I've never met Jews in poverty in America.
Ever.
Ever. I have met people in poverty known as black people who had to go and buy from the merchants.
Right.
That they call the Jews, but I've never met them. So clearly, the whole concept of people coming out of suffering, and we can't see no evidence of a modern day Jew, and I'm talking about one for the last 50 years, doing any kind of suffering
whatsoever,
other than oppressing
others
and conspiracy in an insidious way. Obviously, they can't be the people that's lining up in them scriptures. So that means there has to be a person that these particular Jews are in conflict with, or impersonating, and in competition with, although these people don't even know it.
Right.
Because most black people think that the ancient Hebrew is the Jew that's in Israel.
Or the Israel, they talk about the Bible, is them same road crackers over in Israel right now.
Over in Israel right now.
And people don't know that Ariel Sharon is a Russian. And they don't even know that. This man's a Russian. Ariel Sharon is a Russian. And they think that this same Israel, the state of Israel, is the same people in the Bible. That's what I mean by the insanity of religion.
I remember one day, this black woman standing up on the train, and this was down in Atlanta. So apparently, by her being a part of the South, she never met those Jews in New York with the black on.
Right.
What you call them on? You know, the ones with the ones that wear all the black.
Right. Orthodox.
Yeah, or whatever.
Orthodox Jews.
Yeah, she never met these particular Jews. You know, you see them up north.
Right.
But she's down, this little country woman down in Atlanta. So she see them and all of that is registered based on some stuff she saw on TV, and she jumps up on the subway and the train, just hollering how happy she is to see these people, because she know that her redemption is linked to these people here. You know what I'm saying? You people are the people that is gonna get us into heaven.
Yeah, you the people they talk about in the Bible.
Yeah. And you should have saw the look on these white Jews' face. They was even disgusted with this crazy, ignorant nigger for not knowing that they are perpetrating the fraud. The Sephardic Jews, or what you call it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and it was just embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you know, brother, you know, I've been working in a particular industry for over 30 years, and which is the media. And I've been telling folks for years that everything that comes across that TV screen is controlled by the Jew. Right. They control all phases of media in America. Yeah. Whether it's television, print, music, whatever it is, they control it. I just had the incidents happen on the job, whereas I worked with a guy coming up in the business, and now he just got a contract to direct one of the biggest shows that the TV station on a network level got. Now, the same dude that used to stand side by side me on camera in the studio, and then he's directing because his last name is Shimna. You see what I'm saying? So, it is no doubt about it. These Jews are well connected, and they look out for each other. And that's one of the premices I wanted to talk about with us, man, because as a people, we don't help each other no way. You know, never in the TV history, we got more blacks in so-called positions of power. So-called power. but won't none of them help nobody.
Well, before we get to that, it's interesting because we want to still outline the conspiracy. To give you an example. In the TV industry, you would have shows like The Wire.
Oh, man.
Now, The Wire is a show that is on HBO now. And it's got every single black person who was cut loose from a TV show who can't get no job. They hired them all. I'm like, damn, it's a who's who on niggas that used to work in the 90s and the 80s on The Wire. And, you know, somebody said this a long time ago. They said that in the 90s and the 2000s, the black man is going to be completely in jail. And they meant that it would be the people that's incarcerated, and it will also be the security guards that's watching them. Both of them in jail. Well, this movie, this Wire, is broken down into two forms of culture. The drug culture, as well as the police officers who are criminals trying to catch the drug dealers. And so this is what's going on in this Wire. Meanwhile, we don't understand that this image of us, still in this plight, is going around the world in Japan, Scotland, Africa,
Australia,
China, the entire globe, because we're not talking about local TV. We're talking about cable. We're talking about global cable, a global digital network, and HBO is owned by somebody in England. You see what I'm saying? The mystery here is this image is ongoing. It's ongoing. You see what I'm saying? To give you some conspiracies on what we're talking about here. There's a movie I just watched called The House of Sand and Fog. It's a movie about a little white girl who got threw out of the house because she was too lazy to look at her bills. And they sold off her house and stuff illegally, but she didn't open her bills when the date of the auction date, so it was still her fault. But in this movie, there was an Arab family from Iran that bought her house, and it was played by Ben Kingsley. That bought the house, and was legitimate because they bought the house and trying to sell it for a higher price. And in the movie, they blamed him for buying her house that she got kicked up out of. And as a result, something went down and his son got killed. Because ultimately, it was like, how dare you to go buy a house legally that this white girl got kicked out of. And now you bought the house legally on one of these foreclosure sales. And now you want to sell it for a higher price. Well, that's the American way. And he did just the thing that's the American way. And they blamed him to the point where as they even killed his child. And to say that only white folks can do certain things. And you have the privilege to do those things only when we allow you to do it. But at this particular time, you are like the niggers because we pretty much are at war with the Arabs. So I'm looking at this movie and saying, you know, this is coming right out of white people's minds. House of Sand and Fog. You know, right out of white people's minds. And all, you see what I'm saying? And my point here is, because we don't want to get into, because I think it would have to, in order to treat this thing as far as the Jews being behind the media and all this type of thing, it would have to take 6 hours.
At least.
And just to crack the egg. You understand what I'm saying? But the point I'm trying to make is, because I want to say this, your image around the world, you see what I'm saying, has been destroyed, but it's being still perpetuated.
On a subhuman level.
On a subhuman level. One part is because of certain people are jealous of you because you are the people of the legacy. Now,
Bob, before you do that, explain what you mean by that, because some folks see this tape and they don't know what some other folks. What do you mean by the legacy? Because some folks don't really know who they are.
In so many words, all of these ancient scriptures that's talking about a downtrodden people that will be exalted to the highest level of a spiritual ecology in the last days. It's all about us. It's all about black people. The other people, I'm sorry, they just weren't, they're not old enough for these ancient scriptures to apply to. And if some of these scriptures have been kept up and filtered down to the modern age, they're still taken off of ancient motifs of a spiritual journey of a certain people. Let's face it, that has to happen to just be the original people, black people. I say that because I don't want to just put it in the box of the continental Africa, because we're all over the globe.
Right.
Whole sections of Africans in Asia. That is the original people of Asia. You see what I'm saying? East India, you know, ain't need to say nothing because that's completely black. But wherever you go, we were there first.
Right.
So the scriptures that were put in place, or these ancient arcane motifs, was talking about us. And as a result, we have people that in so many words is trying to steal that birthright by setting themselves up in positions of scripture to put forth the illusion that they are these kingly and godly people that these scriptures are talking about that will inherit this particular kingdom. And it is us, if you deal with history. So there's a jealousy. And there's a conspiracy to raise or exalt a certain people to a level that they fool the world and say, oh, these are the people of God. Meanwhile, by taking another group of people, the original people, and making them into subhuman, at least by image. Now, the other part, we do our damn self.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Because, well, John Henry Clark said that no one can really oppress a historical and cultural people. I've often argued that yes, we can go page after page and blow after blow how it was a conspiracy to lock us up in prisons based on the dope game. This has been going on since the 1940s. Certainly we saw it in the 70s, we saw it in the 80s, and we see it continuing on through the 90s into the 2000s. Because we don't bring the drugs in the country. As well as 1996, where the American government in the New York and the LA Times told us that the American government brought the drugs in the country to finance several things. The mystery here is this. I want you to comment on that prison thing after I say this. But the mystery here is this. If there's a conspiracy to lock your young men up and you are a historically cultural people, there is a certain thing as culturally countering that. And in so many words, you make a cultural policy that we as a race of people are not going to go to jail because there's a conspiracy against us to put us in jail. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So it is possible, culturally, to devise a plan of a counter method, a methodology, you see, to make sure that we don't go to jail just by the definition that there's someone trying to put us in these jails with a conspiracy. So what I'm saying is, other historical people would have rallied together and say, hey, look, there's a conspiracy going on. That means we basically have to turn from crime. And what we're going to do is we're going to disown anybody that's dealing with criminal activity, because we will understand that they have a direct link in strengthening the conspiracy to send future generations to jail by perpetuating this bull.
That's right.
So in so many words, if we were a cultural people, you got East Indians don't marry black folks. And they're blacker than we are, a lot of them. Because they simply will get disowned culturally.
That's right. But they call them the untouchables.
Yeah. The really dark ones.
Right.
But these caste system ones that come over, this elite ones, and they will just basically get disowned.
Right.
Now we do know that there's the Asian woman marries, they're saying it's huge, you marry white men. But in mass, but you don't see a lot of black men marrying Asian women, although there are black men that's married. But you don't see an entire group of black men going and marrying Asian women like you do white women, because the simple fact here is, part of those cultures, they will get disowned.
It's funny you said that, man, because as a people, that's one of the problems with our race is that we don't have a code of ethics.
Right.
And we need, my opinion, I think we need a code of ethics along with a tribunal, because there should be
an elders council.
Right, it should be a council.
And elders doesn't necessarily mean age.
Right, it means
wisdom.
Wisdom,
right.
Exactly. Because go back to the Italians. There are certain things you don't do against the family.
That's right.
And something because you would die.
Exactly.
You died for it.
Exactly. Now we used to have that type of code of ethics in the early part of the 20th century. At least the first 60 to 70 years.
Right.
At least the first 60 years. And one of the code of ethics was, and we started with something very simple. They started with dress. In the 1930s and in the 1940s.
Clean underwear and shit.
Yeah, not only that, no,
right.
it's even more than that. It
right.
was, you could not step on the street after working all day in the factories. You couldn't go downtown and step on the street without a serious pair of what they call suit of clothes.
Right, and your shirt tucked in your pants.
You had to have there was a code in a dress ethic that you had to look presentable at all times, because we understood at that particular time that we were stuck under a rigid system of Jim Crow and people directly having a conspiracy to make us seem inferior. Here goes again, the Jews in the movie industry with the stepping fetches.
That's right.
And all of the maids and all of the degrading, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Black stereotypes.
Right.
Until we started with just the image of sophistication of a Duke Ellington.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Dorothy Dandridge and
yes.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And even Joe Louis and different people.
That's right.
They had a certain code of ethics.
Right.
On just the way you were presented.
Right.
You never saw black men even in short pants back then, because they were so used to being called boy until at one time they wouldn't even wear short pants.
That's right.
You see, so my point here is, and then you just didn't behave, you didn't disbehave a certain way.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that particular case, we had certain code of ethics.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That unraveled after so-called, quote-unquote, integration.
Integration. Right. Right. Which was basically the dissemination of a code of ethics that we had about ourselves, because it used to be a time, if we ain't had nothing else, we had respect for our parents.
Yeah.
And other people's parents.
Right.
We were just a respectful people.
Yeah.
You know, it was now, things always took place. There was always some underhand things that took place, in which I want to talk about too, trauma, because here lately I've talked to a lot of women that have been traumatized by niggas. Yeah. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that. Okay? But to get back on point is, other races have a code of ethics, because if you don't, like you say, do certain things, either you get disowned, and in some cases you die.
Yeah. When
you violate the ethics that a particular group of people have. And that's something, man, I think that we need to get back. I looked at a tape, matter of fact, that I sent you, Louis Farrakhan. Now, I ain't heard that Negro say nothing good in the last 20 years. And this brother dropped some stuff on this tape, and he said, I'm ready to die now. He said, look, he said, we done went to such a sub-level human level that I have nothing else to lose, so I'm just going to tell it like it is. And the brother just dropped it all down. He just told everybody how the money system working here, that there is no money, that the country's in bankruptcy, and that this election stuff is a complete fraud, because your vote don't pick no presidents. Forget that, you know? And he broke it all down, and he came out and just said straight up that the Jew is behind it all. And I was like, whoa. I mean, family, the man got some balls. So family, he may end up getting that bullet out there. But my point is this. Bobby, we are so fucked up now. I got white people asking me what's wrong with us. I got white people that I know on a personal level. He said, look, man, I don't mean no harm. He said, what's wrong with black people? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, where do I start? I pick up a spot. We hate ourselves so bad that we'll do anything now. I mean, I mean the word anything, I'm going to put a capital A at the word anything. For money, for position, for a car. I saw a nigga, man, eating some snakes on Fear Factor about 2 weeks ago for $50,000. And then when he got through with that, he had to eat some cow manure or something.
And did he make it?
And he didn't make it.
They never do.
No, he didn't make it because the white boy, because you know white folks, when they come to that, they got the black man beat.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, it used to be a time, man, that wait a minute, niggas say, oh no, I'm sorry, I ain't doing that. I'm sorry, I don't care how much you give me. Like for me, I'm not too far in the height. So I don't give a damn how much money you offer me. I'm not going to no motherfucking mountaintop, looking down and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
I may fall off of there because of indigo, you know.
Right.
But, not indigo, vertigo.
Right.
Correction. But my thing is, Bobby, our code of ethics, man, there is none. I mean, we you know, everybody I talk to seem to be disgusted with one another.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
We have become, we will do anything for money.
Anything.
The black woman has to watch it because she'll do anything for security.
Right. Right.
And I understand this, but they'll do anything for security. You know what I'm saying? And we will do just about anything. As a matter of fact, you can train a people, or people can slip so low into money can be just as addictive as dope, crack, and all that. I have seen people mindset on one day they fine. The next day they get a little money because somebody, they got a little money, they put, you know, they got a little loan on the house, or they, you know what I'm saying, or they got some little injury.
Whatever.
And we talking about low, we talking about just, we're not talking about millions.
We talking about a few thousand.
We just talking about a few thousand.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you don't see the motherfuckers no more.
And if you do see them, they got a whole new attitude.
Right, but not only that, it's something that snaps in them. You know what I'm saying? You never, you know, you don't see them. It'd be 2-3 months until the money run out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost as if some type of phobia, you know, that the world is out to get them, and at this particular time they go into this animalistic survival mode that I gotta get mine.
And I don't give a damn about nobody.
Nobody else.
Nobody.
You see. And so we're talking about a psychological level that literally money could be the catalyst for a form of, we talk about black mental illness, but we talk about black nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
They literally go insane for a minute when the money comes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or another part is going insane when their security of the comfort zone is at stake.
Right.
So these are phobias and fears.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And basically it's boiled down to this. We will do anything for money. And if you stand up with a little bit of pride and dignity and say, you're not going to do it, don't worry. There's 50 niggas that will.
That's right. Or 100.
Or 1,000.
Or me.
Pick a number. The point I'm trying to make is there is no end into the insanity.
No.
They will pay people to say anything. You know, these comedians will come on and they will say anything to sell out the race. They will, the rappers, you know, for every person that's got something of sense and structure to say, you got 50 Negroes that will do anything because we fell in love with this money. And you know, it's interesting because the same pathology of the greed and the insanity that we go for when it comes to this money is the same thing that end up losing the money.
Yep.
This excess spending and not investing in other black people that you could have some type of parity or some type of fortification with your money.
Right. No economic plan or stability.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about something on that particular level that we're talking about material, or when we talk about human beings, we talk about useless eaters. Mm. We're talking about people that just basically taking up space because there's nothing virtuous
about them
in the aspect, even in the basic level of survival. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the movie X-Files. They had the X-Files series, and you had the movie that came out in '98. And the guy said, survival is the ultimate theology. You see? Mm-hmm. Not survival of the fittest, but survival of the species. And if you break that down, they're talking about survival of not only yourself, but others that look like you.
Right.
And other people tend to get this thing right. Let's just take other groups, you know, that come here. Mm-hmm. You're never going to see a homeless Asian, you see what I'm saying? Because he could always go work in the nail shop.
Right, or the Chinese restaurant.
Right.
Or the curry out.
You know, it was interesting because my girl go get her feet done and all at this Asian up the street. They're so cheap. And she talking to him, and she said, well, how you learn how to do all these nails and this manicure and pedicure and all that? The Asian girl said, well, we learned this in high school. Mm-hmm. So when we come over, we just go to the nearest business of our families and sit at a table and do your nails. And it's a high school curriculum. I'm like, you're right, that's better than something they teaching you where you can't make no money. You at least ought to be able to know how to do certain things like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to say, but then again, on the other hand, we can't take the time to think about being that extension for the community because we hate each other.
You know, speaking of hate, man, you know, Bobby, I think about 2 months ago. Now, this to me, this is what you call the highest form of insanity when it comes to a Negro. There's a guy by the name of Vernon Robinson out of South Carolina. This nigga ran for senator on a banner of Strom Thurmond. He said he called himself the new Strom Thurmond, and that his mentors was George Wallace, Trent Lott, and Ronald Reagan. This was a Negro, and he lost the race.
Sold out.
He sold out and lost.
Right. Sold out and lost. That's like a boy I knew back in 1976. A guy gave him $1 to give him some head. And the guy gave him the head for the $1, and the nigga didn't give him the $1. What kind of nigga will sell the fuck out and then lose?
Right.
Knowing damn well he gonna lose.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this has got to be some kind of clone shit, man.
Man, something is going on. But I told you, man, now, you know, like I explained to you and some of the fellas up in New York, the ELF wave, and for those that know what the ELF wave is, we're talking about extremely low frequencies. The parameters go from 6 cycles to 11.7. And 6 cycles, we're talking about being lethargic and delusionary and just fucking brain dead. And when you get to 11.3%, you're talking about violence. Now, you're talking about seizures and violent reactions. So based on this mind control, A lot of them must be in the sixth percentile because brain dead.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, it is something wrong. I got people I talk to every day that just don't understand why they can't see something fucked up with Bush. I mean, I'll just give you an example. Now, anybody in their right man can see that Bush is fucked up.
Uh-huh.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And half of the people that said they voted for him was based on moralism. Now, how the motherfucker who lies as much as this motherfucker and doing all this killing,
Right.
and when they showed his record on TV and told you about this cracker going all the way back, in back to his Prescott Bush, because we got pictures of Prescott Bush at the lynchings.
Right.
Remember?
That's right.
Now,
Bush was at pictures of him at black lynchings in the 1930s.
right. We got pictures of
In
him.
the 1920s.
Right. So what I'm saying to you, how is it that people, because white folks are not my primary concern, I'm talking about black folks, but why is it that black folks, who call themselves even so-called Republican, can't see there's something wrong with this guy, man? I mean, the sanity is just gone beyond comprehension here.
And not only that, my point here is they had a complete movie to come out that all black people watched, the Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not advocating Kerry, but I'm trying to say this, but we got to understand this particular part. Now, let's break both of them down. First of all, our people don't know about a conspiracy of a one elite system that's ruled by somebody else other than the president. They don't know about that.
Right, secret society, right.
A secret society. They don't know that Kerry and Bush's cousins and a part of the Skull and Bones, and you're getting virtually the same thing.
Right.
But we can say this. For them that don't know that there's an elite party and there's no such thing as actually a government.
Right. That's fake.
That's fake.
Mm-hmm.
The people who believe in a two-party system and a democratic movement, one thing we can say about Kerry, if you take the lesser two evils, he hasn't done anything yet that you can say
he's evil,
that you can judge him on.
right.
But we have had 4 years of Bush.
Yes.
Now, I'm not talking about me because I wouldn't vote for Kerry or Bush. I'm not talking about that.
Right.
I'm saying the people out here, our black people, that think we live in this particular Disney World view of America.
Right.
That think about a two-party system and are actually thinking, your
vote counts.
Your vote counts. They saw, not only the movie you saw at first hand, I'm talking about this based on religion, that a man would lie to you to go up in a country and send your children to war to get killed. And some of you receive letters and caskets full of your fucking people.
And fold up flags.
And fold up flags. You see what I'm saying? From this war, and yet this cracker is yet to bring back one bullet from what he said he went in there for. Not Saddam Hussein. You see what I'm saying? Because they didn't go there for Saddam Hussein.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if people can remember, see, this is what mind control, because we have I used to say a 3-year memory span. No, this shit is like 3 months now.
Right, right.
It's not 3 years.
Yeah.
Let's tell the truth.
Right.
It's about 3 months. No, that's still being a good generous.
Let's say
That shit like 3 days.
yeah. 72 hours.
72 hours memory span. That's literally on the animal level.
That's right.
That's like a fish in a tank going, oh, I'm a fish in a tank. It's fucked up. I need to get up. I'm a fish in a tank.
And just swim
it's
back and
fucked
forth.
up. I need to get up. I'm a fish in a tank. It's fucked up. I need to never.
Yeah.
That's what black people are like.
Right.
Now, all they got to go back and understand this. Because here's a man, we're so ignorant. And I'm blaming white folks for this too. But we're so ignorant until all we had to do is go back sometime in the spring of 2003. Right before he went to war, it was right before, I think that it was right a couple of days before the spring equinox.
Mm-hmm.
And he told Saddam Hussein on national TV, I'm giving you 24 hours or 48 hours to get out of Baghdad. Let me show you mind control. He said, I'm giving you 48 hours or 24 hours to get out of Baghdad. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or we going to war.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me that there was a possibility if he got out of Baghdad, it would have been all right? Now I'm going to show you. You saying, yeah, well, he did say that. Well, where are you getting? Well, they went up into Iraq and had a whole war and didn't bring back no weapons. But when you asked them what was it all for, they said, well, we got Saddam Hussein. Well, wait a minute, hold on. You got Saddam Hussein, and that's supposed to be the prize?
Right.
Well, I thought before the war started, you was giving him 24 hours
Right.
to get out of Baghdad.
That's right. That's right.
So, I'm trying to figure this out. If you was trying to let the man go free at first,
mm-hmm.
how is going to war
Right.
to capture him,
Right.
as you saying, and saying you were successful when that wasn't the option in the beginning?
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it wasn't an option on whether you was going to capture him in the beginning because you was giving him 24 hours to get up out of Baghdad. Now all of a sudden you done went to war and you found nothing.
Nothing.
And yet now, we captured Saddam Hussein. Which wasn't an option before you went in there. Because the option you gave him before you went in was his own freedom.
Mm-hmm. Which was...
Now you're saying that you're a success because you got him.
When
Because
he
you
was,
arrested him.
and when he wasn't even the object, it was supposed to be
The
Bin Laden.
Even before Bin Laden, whatever happened to that? The point I'm trying to make here is, now going back to black folks, because we're not concerned about white folks.
Right.
Although they were duped into this too, but going back to black folks, because I'm trying to make this point. How is a liar and a deceiver that brought your children home dead worthy of being called moralistic that you would vote for him on a religious perspective?
Right. I mean, that's just the highest form of I'm telling you, man, it's mind-boggling. You know, it's mind-boggling, Bobby. It's mind-boggling.
Not only that. This also means that black people are really not spiritual at all.
Nope.
What it means, your spirituality is based on who shows up at your church.
That's right.
Or better yet, who pays you with faith-based initiative.
501c3.
501c3 in the prospect that we know that black people mainly follow their pastors. And we know that was who was it, T.D. Jakes?
It was T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar, a guy by the name of I.V. Hilliard,
Yes, right.
and Fred Price, Eddie Long,
Bishop Eddie Long.
all of them got their congregations to vote Republican,
But vote Republican.
which means vote for Bush because of his moral standings,
Because of his moral standards,
which is none.
which is none, because he's a liar
Right.
and a murderer,
And a thief.
and a thief. And you saw the movie that showed the people in Baghdad
That's right.
being slaughtered.
That's right.
Now I want to know what kind of God you worship.
What kind of God?
That say that a man can go into a country under false pretense
And just kill people.
and kill people. And kill your child in the process of killing them, resolve nothing, and then make up an excuse that wasn't an excuse in the beginning, but was an option for the man's own freedom in the beginning. And yet you're going to say, moralism?
And another thing too, how they say they're going over there to install democracy in their country. Now, Bob, I'm telling you what I know. The word democracy means military rule. See, people have been duped by that word. You only get freedom in a republic. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. And it's nothing but no democracy. Democracy means military rule. See, that's an illusion in itself.
That's right.
The word democracy. Because everywhere they go with democracy, go bombs and bullets and death.
That's military rule?
That's military rule. We under democracy and we under police state right now.
But this is the concept of what I'm trying to say about black people. When they mistake democracy for freedom, I want to know what black person in this country that has that greater concept of freedom, given what we have gone through, to walk into another man's country and impose a freedom that you're not even sure about, that you have yourself, when 70% of your male species ain't even free.
That's right.
Now go into the prison thing.
Now, getting ready to talk about the prison thing, let me drop this on you. Now, we've done the research. Let's start with the Constitution. There shall be no slavery, voluntary or involuntary, in the United States of America, except as a form of punishment. Now, the Constitution says, yes, slavery has been abolished, except as a form of punishment, which is the prison system, the penal system in America.
Right.
Now, once they put you in the prison system, you are now you're now back in slavery, which means they can do anything to you. You have become a ward of the state, which the song you heard at the beginning of this series, the beginning of this tape, Ward of the State, name of the song, Ward of the State. Lockdown.
State property.
State property. Lockdown. Now, take your biggest companies such as Walmart, Exxon, Hewlett Packard, and so on, are all funded by the prison industry. The prison industry is what finances all the deals in the country, because it makes everything now. Everything that's not outsourced outside the country is made by the U.S. prisons. And on Wall Street, I mean, the prison system even got their own rating on Brad and Dunn Street. I mean, they're rated. They got the rating, they have a bonding and a securities division on private prisons. Wackenhut, that's like a security guard company. They run most of the prison systems in the United States of America. Bush family got major interest in this company.
That's right.
Wackenhut. Verifiable. You can check it out. But my thing is this. The prison system, that's why crime is at an all-time rate, because crime is profitable.
Listen, take the instance.
Crime makes money for people.
They had a thing they announced finally in the 90s, something called Unicorn.
Unicorn.
And you got to understand what the word unicorn means. United or unified corporations. That means that every corporation that was on top of the ground in the early 80s that found out that they didn't care about making a profit by giving people high salaries, broke down and went defunct on top of the ground and then opened back up in the prison system. United under one banner, Unicorn, or other names, so you don't understand that job relocated not overseas, but in the underground area of the prisons. And this is the corporation of slavery.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
Whereas, even 60 Minutes, when it was talking about this, it is very little in this country that part of it ain't made up in the prisons.
That's right. They make everything from furniture, the car parts, the caskets. They make most, matter of fact, the prison make most of the caskets they put them dead Negroes in.
Not only that, look at this. Somebody might say, well, you know, they don't make the electronics. No, let me explain something. There's a movie called A Cube. and had all these people trapped inside this cube.
Mm-hmm.
And come to find out it was one guy that was trapped inside the cube was guilty of making the cube. And when they turned to kill him, he said, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I didn't know what I was making. I made a part of the cube, and they assembled it. And it might be 5 people over here making a cube, and the other people was making this prison system or making this box that had them trapped in. And they didn't know it was making because it was all separated. So they might have one prison making one part.
Right.
One prison making another part.
That's right.
And assemble it at another prison or assemble it at a factory outside of prison.
Right.
But the parts was made in the prison.
All of it. Well, you know what, man, we found out, Bob, is this. And you're absolutely right. Because the prison industry has become the free labor for big business.
That's right.
It is the labor force. It's the new labor force for big business.
Yeah.
What's not outsourced out the country is insourced in the United States prison. That's why the federal government is getting out of the prison business and is becoming more privatized. You find your judges and a lot of the top people like that own stock in these prisons now. Just like I was involved in the taping down in Texas, where the same conditions that was going on at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq is going down on in the prisons right here in America.
Yeah.
Black men are being tasered under
That's
their
right.
nuts. They're being stripped down and humiliated.
Yeah.
They sicking dogs on them. They have nighttime raids and drills with guys coming there looking like SWAT teams, and men are being brutalized in these prisons. We're not talking about just by each other.
Right.
We by rape and that stuff. We're talking about by the prison officials.
Right.
And so it is imperative that we wake